Hi, welcome to Let's Get Lost, my new channel that lets you immerse yourself into a wonderful storytelling experience. Now sit back and enjoy the story of the Beast of Dartmoor. The Beast of Dartmoor. A work friend and I decided to go hiking and camping on Dartmoor, England for the weekend in the summer. After hiking for around 7 hours, we were exhausted and not on the trail we originally planned to be on due to a navigation error. We decided we'd best pitch up now as it was getting dark rather than try to make our way back in the dark. We found a flat area just down a bank next to a small stream and decided that it was as good as any spot. We had separate tents, and I placed mine with the entrance facing the bank. Note that Dartmoor National Park is full of sheep roaming free. After pitching up and eating, I went to relieve myself, so I walked away far from the river. On my way back, I spotted a ram skull. Not uncommon, but I thought it was so cool and decided to pick it up and bring it back. Only when I picked it up did I realize that there were at least 10 skulls scattered around, which made me feel like I came across a sheep graveyard. I took the skull back to camp and placed it outside my tent. We got in our own tents and tried to get some sleep. I didn't get much as I could hear the river running and the noise kept disturbing me. I was lying awake when I heard a big splash in the river like someone was throwing a big stone, not like someone was wading or walking. I called out to my friend to find out if it was her, but I got no reply. I figured she was asleep, so I decided to open my tent and check it out. I unzipped the door, and there stood, on the top of a bank, a huge ram. It just stood there, staring at me. I thought maybe I startled it, so it froze, but it didn't appear to approach. And it couldn't be what splashed in the river that was behind my tent, and I'm sure I would have heard it clamber up the bank. I got out to turn and check the river, but there was nothing there. I flashed my torch over to my friend's tent, and it was undisturbed. At the time, the ram just stood staring at me. It didn't move or run when I got out of my tent, and they usually do when you approach. I got back into my tent and left the door open for a while, and the ram just stood there watching me. I eventually closed up and tried to sleep, all the while trying to hear the ram move on. I didn't sleep much more, and soon the sun rose, and I decided to go relieve myself again. I was shocked when I saw the ram was still standing there. It was daylight. It must have stood there for 6 hours, just staring at me. I had decided I've had enough and climbed the bank to shoo it off, but instead of running, it bluff charged me, which threw me off guard a bit. Adrenaline pumping and groggy from just getting up, I shouted real serious like an angry dad, "Hey, get!" And it froze. We had a staring contest for a good 30 seconds, but it felt much longer before I stamped forward and scared him off. My friend came out of her tent and asked what was going on. I explained everything, and she obviously thought I was joking to try to scare her because she told me she didn't get much sleep as she was texting, arguing with her boyfriend most of the night and didn't hear anything. Didn't hear the splash, me getting out of my tent and shining the light on her, or any sheep. We packed up and headed down the river towards the original trail we wanted to be on, where we found 2 dead sheep on the riverbank. I didn't exactly investigate it, but it was obvious that they hadn't been there long. We headed off, finished our trip with nothing else going on. Maybe we stumbled across the Beast of Dartmoor's hunting grounds, and the ram tried to warn us. Or maybe it was a demon ram coming to seek revenge for the skull. Some weird stuff goes on in Dartmoor. I hope y'all enjoyed that awesome story as much as I did. This was my first time doing this, and I was a bit nervous, but I had a great time. Let me know what y'all thought in the comment section, and be sure to leave a like and subscribe. There's a lot more content coming soon. Have a great day, guys.